Welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. Today we're working on a 2015 Kia Sorento fog lamp. So if you need to replace a fog lamp bulb and you just want to do regular incandescent bulb, I'll link that down below. But I'm going to switch it all out to LEDs. We have a video on the headlights. I'll also link that down below. I'm going to show you step by step. So again, fog lamps aren't necessities. So if one of those goes out, you don't have to worry about potentially getting in trouble with law enforcement. But if you have a headlamp, go down to that one, click that. You can change that within 3-4 minutes. This one's going to be a little bit more in depth because you got to have, get both your hands up in there. You have to remove a couple little fasteners so that way you can access the actual fog lamp. And then you're probably wondering what brand I use. Well, before we get started, if you don't mind smashing the subscribe button, helps a small channel out, thumbs up, notification bell, head over to the channel. We got everything on there. Now this should be very similar from 2011 and up on Kia Sorento, but this is specific for the 15 version. And again, if you have a Hyundai or whatever, it's probably very similar in the way it goes in, but the bulb might be a little bit different. So if you have a different Sorento, you can always look in your owner's manual. You can Google it. Matter of fact, they can always find the answer. So the brand I like to use, guys, is called Sealight. You can get them on the Zon. I'll link them down below. Very inexpensive. This set was with cooling fans was, I think, under $20. The amount of light it's going to put off is very, very good, especially when it came to the headlights. The standard bulbs were very lackluster. The fog lamps with the regular lamps were a little bit better, but in fog they were basically almost useless. So we're going to jazz it up by putting these in. Again, I will link them down below, but I'm not sponsored by them. So you guys, you can try any brand you like. I know a lot of people like Last Fit and other ones. I've had those before. I like these ones because they're less expensive and they seem to last equally as long. Like I said, we've had these in most of our cars. I've probably put them in over 100. I've only had one bulb out of a pair in 100 or so sets of these that had a flicker. They warranted it, sent it back. Now, specifically, an 881 is your genre or bulb number for this car. So if you're just going to buy a standard bulb, but what I can tell you is you can switch out to LED for about the same price as you can go to the Walmart or the Checkers or O'Reilly's or whatever they call them and grab a standard incandescent bulb. Now, I will recommend that if you put the regular incandescent bulbs, don't touch them. They're halogen and those, your finger oils will destroy them. But let's take a look at the old bulb. So this is the old bulb. Again, try not to touch the glass piece or the top piece. Other than that, you can pretty much touch them wherever you want. This is the new one. This one does come with a built-in cooling fan and a CAN bus, so you shouldn't have any issues with your system. Now, earlier LEDs, they had a tendency of throwing codes. I've never experienced that with Sealight. They are always opted for plug and play type scenarios, and so we're good to go. They do give you a little bit more lead wire here. This is going to be up in an area where this has a sealing gasket type clip in plug, so you don't have to worry about that. And of course, we have our two gaskets here. This would be as if you could shove all of this in the back side of the housing. We don't have to do that in this situation. Again, so you have your mounting tab here on the light, and you have this mounting tab. So if you're wondering what the heck's going on, it's basically so you can put more of this if you have a dual way of housing for the bulb. So really all you're going to need for this is a screwdriver, and I'll recommend just a stubby. Now, some of this is going to be hard to shoot because the area in there is super tight. So I'm going to have you vision how this works. But let's get under here and I'm going to show you what you have to remove. All right, we're under the passenger side right now, but it's going to be identical to the other side. So you have this fastener here, this fastener here. Now these are Phillips head type pieces. They're really just vinyl threaded things. So once you get it to screw out, if they won't screw out enough, and you can take your fingernails and pull them down, or a flat blade screwdriver, or even a body fastening body tool remover, and you can remove those. So we're going to go ahead and back those out, and then we're going to pull this whole clip out. Okay, so you can see I've got them backed out a little bit. And then once you do that, you can just pull the clip out. I noticed when I first started working on this car in various areas, these clips were missing. So at some point, there was some probably front end work or whatever, and they just didn't get the clips back in. Now, most of the time, these will wiggle out. You can move the panels around to kind of get them to pull loose. And if you need to pull the whole little black cap out, you most certainly can. So now we're going to just get this thing out and need both hands. So if for some reason you're missing some of those clips, I'll link a universal kit I bought off Zon. It must have had 300 body fasteners. And man, that has saved my ass in so many situations, because these panels, they'll sit there and flap in the wind. They'll fall off. They'll get damaged from flapping, especially if snow or debris gets caught up in there. So it behooves you to get body fasteners in there. In this kit, you can just grab one and see which one fits. Or if there's just one missing in a series of 4, you can dig in the bag and find the one that fits best. So, of course, the good Lord blessed us with a little bit of snow, just enough to make stuff. And then I went and washed this car, and it's cold as heck out here, so it kind of froze up. So if we get in here, guys, this is the panel that you need to kind of work out and pull back to access it. Now, it's kind of goes up over here in this lip, so you can get it back, and then your fog lamp is going to be up and behind here. And I'm going to try and get an angle in there. It is a pain in the bahookie. So let me see if I can find something to wedge this bad boy out. Now, before I do that, I want to show you the other video. I swapped out the low beams with LEDs from Sea-Lite. Very, very good there. And we did that on both sides. So if you want to see what those look like, again, because we have a lot of LEDs already from the factory here. We have one on top, and then we have the little one over here. And then that's a regular incandescent. But here's our fog lamp. So not super bright. And there is the new one. And look how much more light that puts off. Now, again, some people say that these are too bright. Well, they are bright. And almost every headlight on the road now is LED, it seems like, in new cars. Unless you're getting like a work truck or a lower trimmed model, you might have halogen bulbs. But for the most part, everything's LED. And these are not brighter than what is allowed. They are just the way they produce that crisp white light, and the way it refracts inside the housing is what produces that extra white light. So these are perfectly legal, so you don't have to worry about that. Now keep in mind, if you're a person that drives around with your fog lamps on, and you have a higher sitting truck, you may get flash, but you're just gonna have to deal with it as you go on. So let's get underneath there and get ready to put these in. All right, so once we get back up in here, guys, like I said, it is a pain, but you can see that wire clip right over there, kind of up in the back here. And it actually says, you know, SYL on the back for Sylvania. You just need to counterclockwise turn that. Now, this is where it gets tricky with trying to shoot and also do the work. So we're just going to counterclockwise turn it, but you can see that bunch of wires there. We're going to counterclockwise turn that and pull that down, and then you have to get both your hands up in here to unplug it. So we're going to do that now. Now I probably should have put this on ramps, but to be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about it. So on this, you can see you have 2 little pinch tabs, and you can see there's not a lot of room up in there. Mashing your hands up. The windshield washer reservoir is in there. So what I did is try to get both hands in there and try to pull one side, put one in there. But I just found it easier to put my fingernail in there once I looked in there, lift it up with this on one side, lift up the other side, and then it pushed right out. So now we're going to go ahead and get our new one. Now just make sure that your gasket is installed before you put it in. Now you can see these 3 little rings. It's only going to go in one way. So you can see our little alignment tab slash like cam type fastening pieces. So they mirror that on this one. So now we're just going to go ahead and put this in the exact same way we took the other one out. And you can see our little holes right there that are going to match up with the 3 tabs here. And I'm just going to one-hand this, guys. Again, I wanted to show you more how to access it, where it's at, because once you get in there, it's going to be kind of by feel. But again, however you want to try and pull that clip off, the wiring is very short, and it's just much easier to use your fingernail, look up in there, take your thumbnail, pick up one side, it'll pop out, you'll hear it clip, do the other side, and then just wiggle it right out, and you don't have to pull on the wiring. But trying to get both hands up in there, gave myself a new skin tattoo today. So I'm going to go ahead and install this bulb, and then again, it's just plug and play. This piece will just hang in there, and it'll seal with the little rubber seal. So we're going to put it in. All right, so we got it plugged in. We got everything good to go there. So now I'm going to show you how to put the panel back in the bottom. It's pretty easy. Just remember, if you put your work light in there and take that out of there. And then we need that light so you can see. The biggest thing is making sure this gets on the other side of that. Then you just move it around until you find your panel hole here. And once you do that, you're going to just basically shove these back in the hole and then screw them back in, or you can just push it down. Again, because they're flared already, you're going to have to use a little bit of finesse there. And you can just shove them in just like that. Do that with the other one, and you're good to go. All right, guys. Again, here at Automotive Inc., we try to do everything automotive and try and show you guys some cheap hacks. Again, this is a super cheap set to put in any of your cars. And again, we have many different cars. We did these LED upgrades, interior, exterior, so you go over to the channel and check them out. Appreciate you guys being here. Catch you on the next one.